Greetings, patrons! I thought it might be fun this month for me to do a video report so that you guys can see that Chris Crawford is real, that he's working on a real computer with a real mouse and a real keyboard. So, let me show you some of the stuff I've been working on this month. First, let me show off some of the source code. Here's the source code for the engine, and as you can see, we got lots and lots of source code, lots and lots of lines, and not that many comments, and wow, 1,665 lines of source code just for the engine, but that's not all. That's just one file. Each of these items here is another file used for the overall program. We got the actor editor and the prop editor and the relationship editor and a tree for logging all the data and the editor listener and all sorts of wonderful things. Oh, the operator editor, that's a big one. And somewhere in here is the interpreter. Here's, Dicto, that's the language software. And then here's how we handle verbs in the system, and here's the engine system with the interpreter and all sorts of other critically important files. So we got lots of files, lots of source code. We got big ones, we got little ones, we got bloody ones, we got nice ones and mean ones. We're really set here. Now, this is SWAT, the Story World Authoring Tool. This is what I actually build the software with. And what I've got all of my verbs here. And again, I've got gobs and gobs of verbs, all of which are focused on just the battle scene. As you may know, I'm only working on getting the battle scene done by January 1st, and then I'm going to show it to you guys, and you'll have to decide whether it's worthwhile for me to continue working on it. So I got all of these verbs here, and I go in and edit the verbs by, let's click on that, and I can look at the properties of a verb, or the sentence display for a verb, or the consequences, what the various roles are. Here's a script, a very simple one, for how somebody, whether fate will take a role. And then here's some scripts for what is going to happen about it. So, anyway, I do all of this work. I spend most of my time working right here, even though there are lots of other editors. Editors for the actors, editors for the stages, editors for the props, editors for the relationships, operator editor. Whoops, let me bring it down here so you can see. This is where we build little, you might call them subroutines or modules, whatever. Okay, this is where I work though, in the verb editor, but now let's actually use Storyteller Lizard to see how a typical game might proceed. This is the actual product. And it tells me a messenger arrives with bad news. A group of Saxons has invaded our lands and stolen cattle. I announce that we will fight against the Saxons. And now a whole bunch of people, my knights, all say, okay, I'll join in, I'll come with you. And so we go out, we search for the Saxons, we find them, and I shout, okay, let's go get them. And the next thing we know, we get a little bit of a story here. The runner boy next to you has his knife out and is gripping it tightly. His expression is boyishly ferocious. You stifle a laugh. Here, boy, hold this for me, you command, handing him the reserve long knife you keep on your hip. It's bigger and more wicked looking. It'll reassure the kid. Okay, but now we see another story. Amidst the bustle of the fighting, you see Lancelot leap up out of the crowd and hurl a spear over the Saxon line. You can't see its impact, but you have no doubt that one more Saxon has gone to his pagan heaven. And I get to respond to this with a number of simple responses. I intend to improve this enormously. I'm going to praise Lancelot. I'm going to say, hey, Lancelot, point him out to everybody and tell him what a great job he's doing. And now we get another little story about one of the runner boys who basically hang around me and run off to deliver messages if necessary. And now we've got a little story about Sir Ector. Nothing seems to be happening over in his sector. The two sides stand about 10 yards apart, the Saxons glaring, the Britons looking scared. Neither side is willing to engage. Well, I could do some things about that, but I'm just going to ignore him for right now. So, let's see. You shift in your saddle. Those damn hemorrhoids have been acting up again. This horse has been particularly jerky on this trip. His name is Gorspel. You make a note never to use this one again. And now we've got a little story about boars and so forth. So this is how we actually fight a battle. It will be very long because the fundamental task here is to manage the morale of your men. And you do it by how you handle them during the battle, how you respond to their situations. I just got to show off one other thing that one of our programmers did. This is called Log Lizard, and it's really neat. This tells the complete story of everything that happened during the course of the battle, all the calculations. And so let's just see. No, let's not do that one. There, Percival. Let's see, is that no, let's get this one. Okay, so what we see here is this is how fate decided that he was going to react, and then over here he starts doing his stuff and he considers each of the options, and for each option he figures out, he does the calculations arising from the scripts for that, and this is the result. And he selects the Percival, and the reason why is because of this script here, which is very lengthy, blah, blah, blah. This allows me to see exactly how things happen during the course of the story. I can figure out exactly how something happened. So if it goes wrong, I'll be able to find out why. Okay, well, that's a quick overview. I'll be wrapping this up on January 1. I am optimistic that this thing really will come out good. So I'll be showing it to you guys on January 1st, and I'll see you then.